Hey guys. So today I'm going to be taking it in a little bit different of a direction. Going to go from reviewing films with my child to just reviewing a film on my own. And I'm going to be doing that quite a bit. She's probably going to be doing some of her own as well. We just want to get involved in this project a little bit. It's been kind of fun. I love independent movies, and one of the reasons I love independent movies is because there's no obvious studio control in the way that Hollywood certainly seems to have a certain bent to what they're trying to do, and the audience doesn't really seem to matter all that much, quite frankly. That's why I like independent movies, because they really care about their audience, and they're usually striving for maybe a more artistic goal. So the movie that I'm going to be reviewing here is called Creep Box. It's a new to me movie. The main lead is Jeffrey Cantor. You might recognize him from a few different things. I don't really want to go into it at this moment, but he's been in a few things that I've seen, and he is a very solid actor. I think no one who's seen him has any question about that. So, the premise of this movie is a little strange. If you're not I'm not going to be able to recommend it to everybody. If you're not a, sci-fi, horror-ish, tech kind of dork or weirdo or whatever, it may not be the greatest movie for you. But goodness, my dog is snoring loud. She's a loud one. And it may be a little triggering of a movie for people who've dealt with suicide, because the plot of the movie is kind of people who've passed away can have a simulation created that brings back the amalgamations of the pieces of their soul enough that you can create a simulation that could speak to the living. Now, they don't ever really explain it that clearly in the film, so I mean maybe they do and I kind of missed it because I was thinking about other parts of it. There were a couple of performances in the movie I thought were particularly good, so during those moments I was really invested into the film, so I may have missed some things. On a second watch I could catch it. A woman named Katie, I'm gonna say Katie Kwong, that's what I would think. She was particularly good in one scene that was just very emotionally driven, and I thought she was excellent in the scene and in the film as well, but in the one particular scene she was very strong. And Jeffrey Cantor, the lead, he was quite good the whole film. I mean, there was one moment in the third act that I thought was unnecessary, and it took me out of the movie for a little bit. It took me out of the movie, not greatly. It was still a good film, and I thoroughly enjoyed myself, but it was a moment that I found to be completely unnecessary. And in the unnecessariness of the moment, it kind of just irritated me, I guess, a little bit. I don't know. That said, the film is superficially about, a company who is trying to get in the good graces of the government enough that they can use their program to help find criminals, what have you. There's various aspects to it, but everybody's looking to make money, obviously. So the doctor starts to have, the doctor, I guess you call him a doctor of neuropsychology or whatever, he starts to have some moral qualms about what is inside this box that's an amalgamation of a human being. Does it have humanity to it? The moral and ethical question, obviously, the company wants to brush off because they're not going to make the money if they can't, prove that there's nothing inside of the box that's actually a human being. Because if there was, then the implications would be too great to continue the project. So, while they're trying to get around it, the various people in the film are dealing with the grief of their loved ones passing, several of them from suicide. So, the message that it's not your fault is very important to this film. And although I have had friends commit suicide, I'm not the kind of person who is triggered by something like that, so the film didn't bother me. It reinforced a feeling that I feel is important for everybody to have in an instance where someone they love commits suicide, which is, it's not your fault, and it could never be your fault. And if you loved someone, I'm sure you did as much as you could have to try to save their life. And it's just an unfortunate thing that people have to deal with sometimes. But aside from the moment in the third act where I was taken out of the movie, I thought it was a very solid film. And I would recommend it to anyone who's into sci-fi, tech, weird movies. Anyone who wants to view a film about suicide, for whatever reason you may want to view that. I think it's a decent treatise on that subject. That said, I give the film a 7.5. If it wasn't for the small moment in the third act, and it's a small moment, but enough to jar me. If it wasn't for the small moment in the third act, it easily would have been an 8.5. But I give it a 7.5 because of that. I highly recommend the film for the certain subset of people that I discussed while I was speaking about it. I hope everyone enjoys these videos. Please give a like, share, subscribe, comment, give me movies ideas, give me and the kid ideas for things that we can do. And if you ever do get around to watching this channel, I appreciate you. Thank you. Have a good night.